This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by promoter Eddie Hearn here in New York. Eddie, always a pleasure. How are you? How was the travel over?
I see asking how I am. Thank you, Andy. Yeah, it was a good, nice flight over last night and good kip. Ready to go. It's mad at the moment, I'll be honest with you. Obviously, all the stuff with the 5v5 and Bivol Beterbiev and then here for Haney-Garcia and then back for Liverpool next week. And I think a few press conferences in between now as well. So there's never been a busier time in boxing. I've never been more motivated and I've never looked more unbelievable. So yeah, life is good.
Look well, Eddie. I'm not a fan of impersonation of myself that you gave the other day. That was a very poor impersonation.
You do the eyes, Andy, so you go. This is Andi Purewal, is for Boxing News. And how are you today, Eddie? How was the flight over? So that was, yeah. At least you got to mention, though. That's pretty big, I mean, amongst everybody else. So, you know, my performance repertoire is now Eubank, Jim McDonnell, Bob Arum and Andi Purewal. So you're walking in unbelievable steps.
See, I'm going up in the world, Eddie. Here we are. But Haney-Garcia, I think a few people just want to kind of get a better understanding on Matchroom's involvement for this fight. Yeah,
mad that they want to know about that. Matchroom's involvement. We had an option on Devin Haney, which obviously this was the fight to take. We are not promoting the show with Golden Boy. We are promoting Devin Haney. So we have a financial involvement. We have a contractual position, I guess you could say. But most of all, we have a position with Devin Haney, which is friend, supporter, future promoter, probably, and just pleased to be here for a massive fight. Yeah, so this isn't a Matchroom show that you're seeing. We haven't been in charge of ticket sales or press conferences, but we're here on Team Haney, and looking forward to what I think will be a great fight and a great show on Saturday.
Obviously, in the past, Eddie, yourself and Oscar De La Hoya have had a few back and forth, shall we say, across the media. What's that been like? What's that relationship been like, certainly around this fight?
They don't really want us involved. I mean, and that was probably part of the agreement in the first place. So I think we could have been an asset to the show and a promotion, but we're still here pushing the show for DAZN. And Oscar's a good promoter, and Golden Boy, I like the people there. Oscar's a little bit wants to work with everyone, but really I'm not so sure. But I respect him all round, really. I keep seeing this stuff. I respect him as a person. I respect everybody. And it's not easy, and he's also a legend of the sport. So, I think he's making some great fights at the moment. We want to work with Oscar, especially because he's on the same platform that we're on. So that makes great sense. He's pushing hard. And I think that whether you rate Oscar or not as a promoter, one thing he is doing is he's going for it. He's he said, I saw a thing, he's trying. He said that's what he referred to as me. I'm trying. And I think Oscar's trying. And I think a lot of people don't try. I think some people give up. Some people get flat with a business. Some people lose ambition. Oscar has ambition. We ain't going to go out for dinner tonight, but I respect the fact that he's out there and he's making good fights. There's no doubt.
One of the biggest talking points heading into this fight, Eddie's been Ryan's behaviour and what he's posted over social media, including yesterday. We're speaking to Bernard Hopkins. He said himself he doesn't know if it's a kind of a ruse or if it's true or not. What do you think as we draw closer to Saturday night?
Well, if it's a hustle, it's one of the greatest hustles of all time. I don't think it's a hustle at all. I think his behaviour is definitely uncharacteristic of Ryan Garcia. We have no understanding of what his training has been like, what his camp has been like, where he's at physically, mentally. But a lot of the stuff that Ryan has will be there on Saturday night. Speed, power, and forget Ryan Garcia. I'm focusing on Devin Haney. This has been a tough camp for Devin Haney. Because if you're watching these videos 6 or 7 weeks ago, I'll be honest, that first press conference, I thought there is no way this fight happens. We are 2 days away. This fight is happening. And all of a sudden it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Because of that, people now going, oh my God, this is actually happening. And I don't know. I mean, I think Ryan is dangerous in this fight. Because I think he just has zero fear. I think there is an argument that maybe emotionally, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, Ryan is or has been weak in the past, Now, I think this new, whatever it is actually crazy? I mean, so if he's going to fight like he's crazy, he's going to be very dangerous, because I think in the past he hasn't fought like that, you know? And if he can pull something from within during this episode in his life that makes him tougher, more robust, more dangerous, then this is a really tough fight. I mean, you know, for Devin must have been seeing this for the whole preparation of this fight, going, is this fight even happening? You know, how's his weight, Devin? Is he, you know, is like, there's so many different. This is the weirdest fight I've ever seen, but also one of the biggest fights I've ever seen. And look, for me, Ryan's been amazing in this camp. If you're talking about it from promotionally, I mean, he has not stopped. So God knows what we're going to see today. But what I believe we see on Saturday is a masterclass from Devin Haney, who is the consummate professional, who has done everything right, who wouldn't have cut corners. But Ryan is going to be dangerous. He looks like a dangerous man to me in many different ways. And he'll, you know, I don't know. Look, I've been involved with fights before where people have just lost their way a little bit and they've won. You know, I'll actually tell you, because I talked about this the other day. You know, Scott Fitzgerald went through a lot, and it was really only in that fight with Fowler that we started to see him change. And his behaviour was not normal in that training camp. It wasn't like Ryan Garcia, but anyway, he won. We'll see.
Another talking point's been the weight front. Ryan yesterday looked big, but then also some people were suggesting maybe Devin looked a little drawn again. Did you see that in?
That's the beauty of the boxing narrative, isn't it? The discussion point. And that's why our sport is so powerful, because we're always talking, we're always debating, we're always discussing. And I think, if I'm honest, I think Ryan looks heavy. And I don't know what he's going to weigh tomorrow. But he is coming up from 35, or has been, so I don't know. I mean, I hope that someone has documented this training camp, because you're going to get one hell of a documentary one day.
Eddie, it's no secret you obviously have a strong hold of that 140 division across the scene. Have you spoken to Devin away from Saturday, provided he goes to plan, what a plan could look like for him if he continues to work mature?
I'm already planning Devin's next fight. I mean, that's my job to do that. And listen, Devin's got loads of options with a lot of other promoters. I believe he wants to be with us. We want to be with him, and we've got great options for him moving forward. So Saturday night is the plan for Devin. I've not discussed it with him. I've spoken to Bill, obviously. But as soon as that hand is raised on Saturday, we'll be having meetings in the hotel straight after to try and lock in a summer defence.
Eddie, the promo video for 5 versus 5 is one of the best that I've seen so far.
It's just all amazing. You know, I'm living in dreamland right now with what we're doing in boxing, and it's just the beginning. You know, I've never felt so alive in the sport with the potential that awaits us. And, you know, the 5v5, that's just, I can't believe, like, I've not seen hype around anything like a concept like that for so long. And I'm so excited about that, for that concept to evolve with Queensberry. I'm so excited about upcoming fights, upcoming shows. Like, there's never been a time like this for boxing. So strap on your seatbelts and just enjoy the ride.
Eddie, Taylor-Serrano too ending up on the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul undercard. Can you tell me about that? And I've seen a reported figure of around $6 million Katie might be earning from that fight. That is a huge sum of money if it's true.
No, it's not true. But listen, it's a great payday, and very, very simple. We had an approach from Nikisa at MVP, who we work with. Sean Palmer works with him a lot. They made us we were talking about doing the fight anyway. They made us an offer, which was a fantastic offer for Katie Taylor. I felt like she should accept it. Obviously, she's with DAZN, and we had to have conversations with DAZN, who I can't thank enough. And I think this is so important to stress moving forward. We all have an obligation to put the best fights and the best fighters on DAZN. Sometimes a life-changing opportunity presents itself, and I hate the way a broadcaster would get in the way of that. We are going to go and beat Amanda Serrano and then come back and do a mega fight on DAZN. So this was exactly the right thing for Katie to do. And, you know, I won't be involved in a promotion. I'm not going to be, you know, involved in that, but I'm involved in Katie Taylor's career, and we're with her. We've been with her from the start. We'll be with her till the end. And this is the next fight for Katie Taylor, big opportunity. And then get this one, and then we'll plan the next fight for September, October time.
One of those other fights in the frame was Chantal Cameron. Her and Sandy Ryan had
Yeah.
a few back and forths. Do you think that might be one explored now?
Possibly. I mean, there were, we actually had a phone call about that this morning that we're discussing potentially. I love the fight. Great fight. Great fight.
Again, just moving forwards, Regis Prograis put 2 tweets out.
Yeah,
Firstly, he said Sabril Matias in Vegas 2025, and then he also said Dalton Smith for the WBC silver lightweight title in 2025 in Saudi Arabia.
I was wondering about where's 2024 got to. We're exploring Dalton Smith against Regis Prograis next already. Regis will come back around sort of July, August time, something like that. But he's still a big player in the division, and like you said, we're well locked in at 140. And I love Dalton Smith against Regis Prograis. I love Sabril Matias against Regis Prograis. But a lot of these guys have got fights ahead, particularly Sabril Matias. He's got to beat Liam Paro first. Not going to be easy.
Terence Crawford and Turki El Sheikh, a couple of tweets exchanged the other day. Anything you can tell me? Will Turkey be bringing Terence out to Saudi Arabia?
No, I don't know. I mean, there's a huge amount of conversations going on at the moment. We'll see.
Israel Madrimov, Terence Crawford?
No, I mean, he's a world champion at 154. So as I understand it, Terence Crawford is moving up to 154. He will want to beat, because I know him, and fight all the world champions. Israel Madrimov is, I think, maybe the best at 154. He's a WBA world champion. Nothing done on that fight at all. But I do think Terence Crawford will want to face the champions.
And final one from me again. Eddie saw Turki El Sheikh tweet a photo of himself and your man Anthony Joshua, and the caption was "waiting for Fury-Usyk." Do you draw ever more confidence from a potential Fury-Usyk winner facing Anthony Joshua?
As we know, there is a 2-fight agreement with Fury and Usyk. But as I've always said, His Excellency wants to make the biggest fights and wants to provide the best fights and the best moments for fight fans. We all know the biggest fight in the history of sport is Fury against AJ, if Fury beats Usyk, but there is an agreement. So who knows what the future holds, but make sure you tune in May the 18th in Riyadh. It's going to be an unbelievable moment in time for the history of the sport.
I appreciate your time. As always, look forward to more impressions moving forward.
Thank you, Andy.